This is just going to be a quick video to show you how to initialize or set up your set of lights, because every paramotor is slightly different and will require a different number of LEDs. And the rings will be a little bit different and where the bottom is placed. So when you install these lights, they are configurable to your ring just by making a few adjustments. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So typically when you first get your set, when you plug it in and turn it on, it will go to the initialization sequence. If it doesn't, you hold both buttons down on the control box and turn the power on, which is what I'm going to do now to reset this. And I will show you how we initialize the rings. So I'm going to turn the power off. I'm going to hold down both buttons. And you want to let go of both buttons when the test pattern displays. So now we're in programming mode basically. And what this does is the white LEDs, and there's a little red dot here. This lets, the first step is to adjust how many LEDs your set has. So you grab the flash rate knob, which is the one closest to the buttons, and you turn it until that red dot comes all the way around and down to the last LED. You want it right on that LED. So now I got it adjusted where the red dot is at the very end. Now you tap a button. Now we need to divide it at 12 and 6 o'clock. Because this set of LEDs is for a flat top, the data connection point starts on this side. So I have to tell it that where the data starts flowing into the LEDs is not the center. So what we do is we turn the knob again, and you see the red half goes back and forth, and I have a piece of tape on my wall here that tells me where half point is. And that's halfway right there, so that's exactly split in half. And I tap another button, it doesn't matter which one. And then the next one is it's going to display all blue like this, and you're going to turn the knob again, and the bottom's going to start lighting up yellow. You may have to turn it one way or the other depending on your set. And you turn it until you reach the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and that tells you where your ring is split horizontally. For the most part, this can be visually separated. It doesn't have to be exactly half and half because some rings, the netting may only come down to say here, and if it does, then your LEDs start here and go up around. So your halfway is still here, but your quarter is still going to be right there. So you'll have less leads on the bottom. And most of the patterns will take that into account and readjust themselves. So then once you have that set, you tap a button again. And then the next thing to do is your power meter. So you need to adjust your power meter to its maximum level. And before you do this, you want to make sure that the battery that we send you is fully charged. You can come back and redo this if it's not later, but you want to do this when it's fully charged, and you want to adjust the power meter until the red dot is just touching the green, the two green LEDs at the top, like that. And that basically tells the controller that's where your battery is at full power. And then this set of LEDs, actually the data line runs counterclockwise. So I have to push the pattern button to tell it that that's the direction it's running. And I'm going to reset that. And then that way, when I go to flags, the flag is actually on the right side. So if you hit the wrong button, the pattern button is counterclockwise, and the, is that right? I can never remember myself. But anyways, the pattern button is counterclockwise, and the group button is clockwise. And if you get it wrong, the flag will actually be flipped and be over on this side. And if you do that, just turn your unit off, hold both buttons down, turn it back on, and redo this, and hit the other button to close out your power meter. So the last button that you hit when you close out the power meter tells it whether you mounted your ring clockwise, counterclockwise, or clockwise. And you can see, because if you look on the little LED strips, there'll be an arrow that points in that direction. And that's the direction of data flow. That's how you set it up. And then once it's set up, you don't have to touch it again. And then your unit here, when you turn it off and then turn it back on, will remember the last pattern that you were on and start from there. So that's how to configure your ring when you get it. And hope you found this useful. Peace out.